Hi, B. Lang. I figured I would start with my face, even though I'm probably looking exhausted, trying to teach kindergarten to Lily, fourth grade to Ben, and then manage all of the stuff with all of my students. And the English department has been crazy. And I thank you all for just staying, attuned to what's been going on, being communicative. I totally miss you already. This is going to be hard if it's extended through 6 weeks like many of the area schools. So fingers crossed it'll end sooner rather than later. And I'm excited to try out a conferencing call with you guys on Zoom next Thursday. So I hope you're looking forward to it. I know 8:35 is early, but I figured keeping our class time would be helpful for all of us, just having some semblance of normalcy. So I'm saying hello to you, but I'm also trying to explain the next assignment, which is taking all the work you've done and turning it into your synthesis paragraph. So I'm going to shift the screen so it's off of me, so you don't have to look at me anymore, and put it onto my screen. I actually first have for you this really funny sign that is grammatically incorrect. As an English department, we're finding fun things that would be cool to share with our students, that they might find funny, just to keep things light. And I found this one and I thought it was awesome. All others will be towed. Maybe it's in a princess's parking lot. I don't know. So moving on, let me see if I can get the stuff for your assignment up. That's the screencast thing. So you guys should have completed this chart right here that was due, or that will be, I guess I'm doing this at 9 o'clock on Thursday night, but it will be due when you watch this I'm assuming you'll watch it on Friday morning. It will be due. And that will just give me some time to go in, double check that you did use one of our top 3 claims, and you do have 3 distinct reasons, and that your evidence is aligned and it's really strong, and that your warrant ideas essentially are thoughtful and show that you're going to fully develop your warrant. If I have any concerns, I'll leave you comments. And if I don't, I'll just comment overall, like, great job, go ahead, you're ready for the paragraph. And hopefully by doing the stepping stones this way, it gets you really comfortable with the process of, looking at a prompt, a synthesis prompt, which has the prompt itself plus the 6 sources, and then being able to filter the information into a way where you can construct an argument that's not only clear and thoughtful, but that hopefully is complex and considers the nuances of what is being presented, which is usually a little bit easier in synthesis because you have the sources right there. You don't have to just think from your brain, gosh, what can I use for evidence? You have the sources. And a lot of times the prompt itself and the sources, they give you information that you can use. They make you think, and they're like, oh yeah, I could approach it this way. This one says this and that one says this. And together it makes this argument. So hopefully you've noticed that so far. And you're going to take what you've done here and you're going to notice that I have posted, or, will soon be posting, this synthesis paragraph, MLA sheet for you guys to just write on. Remember, you're only writing one of your body paragraphs. So you can look at your chart here that you have full, and whichever row you feel like would make your strongest paragraph, take that row and turn it into a body paragraph. You already have your reason, you have your evidence, you have your warrant. Now you just need to make it cohesive, put it all together. And you'll do that right on this document right here. Make sure you do also paste the claim up here. So when I and other classmates are looking at your paragraph, they can see, does your body paragraph actually connect back to your claim and prove your claim to be true? So make sure it's up here, and then your full body paragraph, just one. I'm going to say it again, just one. I don't want anybody freaking out and writing all 3 yet. You will eventually, but not yet. And so if you're somebody who wants a reminder of, what should my synthesis paragraph look like? This paragraph right here that I've attached to the same assignment is just the same exact paragraph from that example 8 essay I gave you in the packet that I handed you out last Thursday if you were in class. And I attached it, if you weren't in class, I attached it to your last synthesis assignment, which had like 70 attachments. No, I think there were like 10, but there were a lot. And this example essay was handwritten, and sometimes it's hard to read the handwriting. So I did type it up for you, the first paragraph, as an example paragraph. So you can really see that this student, began the paragraph with the supporting idea and already started weaving in. Look, these right here, these are all pieces of source A, right? She already wove in evidence. So it doesn't have to be, you know, really mechanical where you're, oh, here's my supporting idea, and then plonk, here's my evidence, and then plonk, here's my explanation. That's going to sound odd. Remember, you're trying to make everything very cohesive. In fact, if you read the commentary on this example essay, the AP test scorers said one of the strengths of this essay was that the student created a very cohesive argument, was able to weave in the source information, like the source material, right into her own argument as if it were her own words. So, really try to do that as much as you can and make sure you're picking the best evidence that actually fits what you're trying to say. Try not to do retrofitting or force fitting of information. Make sure that information is really like, yeah, that's exactly what I want to say. It's right here. Boom. Put it in as your evidence. And this person really makes a progressive argument. The argument progresses because if you go back to her thesis, it's a little bit long. It's not on this page, but it's on the example. She's saying that even though the television, this is from the television prompt if you didn't notice already, that, having television in politics, even though in theory it's aligned to our democratic ideals, overall it doesn't actually, help in political theater. It actually does sort of create a different identity for a politician, which in the end is not good. So she does set up this first body paragraph showing that showing that first part of her thesis, of her qualifying thesis, saying like, look, it does give America this contact. It does reach the most people, a wide number of homes. It did skyrocket, in that first section on that chart. And when you are using information from charts and your graphs and those types of, and even the cartoon or the infographic that you might have as a source, do make sure that they see that you can interpret the graph or interpret that visual rhetoric effectively. So make sure the way you use it shows that you are able to make deductions, right? Deduce from the data accurately and in a way that will support your claim. And that's what she does here. And remember, it doesn't have to be directly cited, right? It doesn't have to be with the quotation marks. She's summarizing here. And the other thing I want you to notice is she's citing her sources. So do make sure that you cite anytime you use information from the source, whether you directly quote it or whether you summarize it, you have to cite it. Part of the synthesis score requires you to cite it. And if you don't, they will not give you credit for using the source. So you can either cite it this way with the source letter like they have, or they also provide you with the author's last name on that front prompt page. And you can use the author's last name if you prefer to do that. Either way is fine. And you'll see that she continues to explain her ideas as she goes. So she doesn't necessarily present a reason, then say evidence, then have a warrant. She pretty much has her reason at the top, yes, but weaves evidence right into it and then continues to blend, to synthesize her evidence with her own argument, her own rationale, her own warrant, and she does that throughout. So I would reread this again just to double check that you do understand what it should look like. It's really not that different from a strong argument paragraph. It's just the extra requirement is that you're pulling in information from the provided sources. And some of you have asked, well, what if I only use one source in one paragraph? That's okay. You can see here she uses source A twice in this paragraph, and that's okay. And if she didn't use source D, that's okay. You just have to have three sources across the whole argument. So in the other body paragraphs, you'd have to have at least two others. And I will say that the scorers do appreciate when you do weave information from multiple sources into one paragraph. They do like it. Doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be a higher score or a lower score if you don't, but it does show that you're able to navigate the complexity of both the sources and the argument better if you can do that. So maybe try if you can, and if not, don't stress. This is your very first one. And once you have drafted it, right, you're going to draft this paragraph. You're going to submit it by Tuesday morning. And then on Tuesday morning, if you kind of go to our schedule, I did post this schedule in hopes, not that it would overwhelm you, which I think it did to a few of you, so I'm sorry, but that it would ground you a little bit because maybe you were feeling like, I don't know what's coming. So at the very least, whether we're in school or out of school, we're sort of following this schedule. So hopefully if you get your synthesis paragraph handed in by Tuesday morning, what I can do is I'm going to, on Tuesday morning, put them all on one document and share it with you. So between Tuesday and Thursday, each of you can pick at least three, right? It says that here. You can pick at least three of other people's paragraphs. Don't do your own, but find three others and just use the comments function, right? This one up here on Google, and leave some comments about what you see as strengths in the body paragraph and what you see as opportunities in the body paragraph. And it's just you evaluating and getting more comfortable with what a strong body paragraph looks like for a synthesis essay. Don't be afraid. We're not going to hurt anybody's feelings. And we're going to use that as a basis of our conversation. When we do meet, we're going to try to have our very first synchronous class meeting, like I said, next Thursday. And I'll send you a link. You already have Zoom downloaded on your on your Gmail. So when you see my email, it'll just be a link to click. You click on it. It'll ask you if you want your camera to be used or your audio to be used. You can click yes to both. And then I can manage the classroom by muting you all if I need to, if it's too much at once. There's a raise hand function. It's pretty cool. This will be like a little trial thing that we'll do, and hopefully it works. If it's a total fiasco, then we'll, try something else. But it's worth trying because I miss seeing your faces. I miss your smiles. I miss your jokes. I miss just your engagement in class. It's been a little lonely, I think, for some of us. And even though I love my family, interaction with other people is good. So I'm hoping we can try that next Thursday. I think that covers everything I wanted to touch base with you about this time. I guess I should just mention too, as you saw here, Albert multiple choice. I already did post, that's the synthesis online test prep right here. I already did post your 5 passages. You guys had asked that if we do a practice Albert, can I post one at a time, so you can take it slow and do one at a time. And so I did that right here for you. Try to get these done by the 30th, by the end of the day on the 30th. That gives you plenty of time, a full week. It shouldn't be stressful. Do them when you know you have a chance to actually, focus on them and try your very, very best. It's important that this multiple choice practice is, worthwhile, not just do it to get it done. Save it until you have the time to do it. And I did, for those of you who prefer to maybe print them out and be able to annotate on the passages, this is a document of all of those passages that you will be reading to answer the questions for here. So hopefully that helps. I think that's everything now. If I go back, just keep the other thing is your choice book. Make sure you're reading it. We are going to create a synthesis prompt inspired by it, starting hopefully if we can get back to school. I did this through the 9th in optimistic fashion, hoping that, maybe that last week before vacation, but my feeling is we probably won't. And we will probably have to create the synthesis prompt from afar. So, we'll see. We don't know. None of us know. But just sort of heads up, something to be planning for. Just keep reading that choice book, especially if you're feeling really unmotivated. Sometimes it's nice to maybe just grab the book, sit on the couch, get a snuggly blanket, cozy in and read for a little while. Ben, my son, even took a break today. He was super frustrated with his math, and he said, "Mommy, can I just go up to my room and read and take a break?" And I was like, "Yes, I love that taking a break for you is like reading a good book." So maybe that's true for you too. Hopefully you can get through a little bit of that. If you guys have any questions, I know you're sick of me saying it. I said it in every post and every email and everything, but I can't stress it enough. If you have any questions at all, please reach out. I am here for you in any capacity that you need me. I care about you. I care about your learning. I care about your mental health, making sure you guys are doing everything for yourself beyond just the academics. So let me know, and I'm here. And I guess until next time. So see you soon.